help with that at the moment. What would you say was like the number one thought process that helped you divorce amicably, I think you said?
Well, again, one of the main Reiki, I use all of my teachings. I call it like the Deb blender. I take all my knowledge and I put it in a blender and I kind of use it as it's applicable to the person that I'm working with. And I think because I really had a lot of growth to do, I still was in the blame game, but I was starting to transform. The one Reiki thing that helped me is act in the highest good for all involved. And what that means, if my family was a unit of four, right? My ex-husband, my two kids, and myself, I don't want to just do what's for my highest good, but I don't want to just do what's for everyone else's highest good. Like, I think a lot of times as women, we don't factor ourselves into the equation, and we're trying to please everybody, but then we become the martyr. Like, oh, oh, this, I did this for my family. And yeah, we do things as parents for our family, for our kids, but we leave ourselves out of the equation. And what that does is it makes you, it trains you unconsciously to put yourself last. And we do not serve others when we do that, especially when we have kids and when we're a leader of people, of a team, of a company. It doesn't mean you put yourself before others. It just means you put yourself with the others. So that really helped me. I was in a position where I really didn't earn much money and I didn't know how I was going to leave. And I also learned the principle is sometimes you don't have to know the how. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Sometimes if you want something and you see it and you believe it in your heart and you operate on the right principles, the how takes care of itself. And I just trusted and things moved. And, I have nothing bad to say about my ex-husband. This isn't, everything I have looked back on had everything to do with me. And it was the right decision for us to end the marriage. It made me a better mom, a better person. Took me on a wild journey that I wouldn't have had. But probably it made my kids stronger and more resilient and made just us closer than we would have been had I stayed.
What would you say to individuals who are hearing this and they're like, good for you, Dad, and are thinking to themselves that their husbands wouldn't really follow that same nice, lovely journey that you're portraying here? How does you embracing your power also help the journey, even if one person isn't quite on board?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And I give all credit to both of us adulting. It was strength in him to allow things to be amicable, if that makes sense. I'm under no illusion that just because I was peaceful and doing this mindfully, I had to do it for myself. I was deeply, deeply, deeply unhappy and troubled. And it's funny because no one would have known. We had the perfect family and the external, like what? Everyone's like, what? You guys are getting divorced? But I do give him props because he didn't make it ugly. I have been on this side of things now for 8-9 years ish, and I've seen the other side. And part of the reason I like to coach dads who are struggling in their marriage or divorced, even though I probably focus more heavily on moms, is because if everybody acts, if everyone adults, if everyone learns that it is for the highest good for everyone, especially and including the kids, to adult, to be amicable, then everybody can win. I have one of my taglines is you can have a dysfunctional marriage and a functional divorce. And I feel like we're the poster children for that. Our kids have done great. They have had no hiccups in life because we both held it together. We don't badmouth each other. That's a big thing. Something I learned long ago is when you're in divorce or even you're married, but it's rocky, do not speak badly of your spouse or your ex in front of your kids. because they're 50% DNA of both of you. And when you badmouth your partner or your kid's parent, you're really inadvertently bad-mouthing the kid, and that goes into the children. So if anyone's listening and they're having a rough marriage and they're fighting around each other, or they're divorced and they're talking badly about, you get your kids for the weekend, whatever your custody is, do not say a word about your ex. Don't. The kids are going to believe what they're going to believe, and they're going to learn as they get older what the truth is. And I always wanted them to love both of us and have a relationship with both of us. And we've never fought about custody. We've never tried to keep the kids away from one or the other. And I'm infinitely grateful for that. And I know that story isn't always the same for everybody.
Yeah. Speaking on the same